Welcome back to Manage and Secure, the podcast that makes business IT and cybersecurity easy to understand. I'm Olivia. Today's topic is something every business owner needs to hear. Microsoft 365 sign-in scams are getting harder to spot in 2026. And I mean really hard. Even tech-savvy people are getting tricked.
That's exactly right. The fake login pages we used to warn people about, full of typos and weird logos, those are gone. What we're seeing now looks identical to the real Microsoft 365 sign-in page. And the tricks behind them have gotten much smarter.
Let's start with the basics. What is a Microsoft 365 sign-in scam?
In plain English, it's when an attacker tricks one of your employees into entering their Microsoft 365 username, password, or login approval on a fake page. Once they have those credentials, they can log into your company's email, files, Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive, basically your entire business. A lot of damage, very quietly. They read emails, they send fake invoices to your customers, they change bank details on payment requests, they steal sensitive files, they reset passwords, and often they sit inside the account for weeks just watching and learning before they make their big move.
That's terrifying. So why are these scams suddenly so much harder to spot in 2026?
Three main reasons. First, attackers are using AI to build perfect fake pages. The logos, the wording, even the loading animations all match Microsoft exactly. Second, the scam emails are now personalized. They use your name, your company name, your real coworkers, even recent project details. And third, attackers have moved beyond just stealing passwords. They're now stealing sign-in approvals and session tokens, which means they can get in even if you have multi-factor authentication turned on. Device code phishing is one example that's hit hundreds of Microsoft 365 organizations recently.
Wait, hold on. So even with MFA enabled, we can still be tricked?
Unfortunately, yes. The old advice, just turn on MFA, is no longer enough by itself. Attackers have figured out how to ask the user to approve a login they didn't start. The user thinks they're logging in, they tap approve, and the attacker is in. It's called MFA prompt bombing, or token theft. It's one of the fastest growing attack types right now. Exactly. MFA is still important, but it has to be the right kind of MFA, set up the right way, and supported by other layers of protection. That's what proper cybersecurity services do. They put multiple layers in place, so one trick doesn't take down the whole business.
Let's make this real, Mark. Walk us through what a modern Microsoft 365 sign-in scam actually looks like.
Sure. Picture this. Sarah works in accounting at a small business. She gets an email that looks like it came from a coworker asking her to review a shared document in Microsoft 365. The email uses her name, mentions a real client, and even references a recent meeting. She clicks the link. It opens what looks like a perfect Microsoft 365 sign-in page. She enters her email, password, and approves the MFA prompt on her phone, just like she always does. Nothing feels wrong. But behind the scenes, an attacker just captured her sign-in session. Within an hour, they're inside her email, reading client conversations, and preparing fake invoices.
And Sarah didn't do anything obviously wrong.
That's the scary part. She did exactly what she's been told to do for years. The attack didn't fail because of her behavior. It succeeded because the protection around her wasn't strong enough. They're not impossible to avoid, but they do need a layered approach. 5 things every business should have in place. First, modern phishing-resistant MFA, things like passkeys or hardware-backed sign-ins. Second, conditional access policies in Microsoft 365 that block logins from unusual locations, devices, or risky sign-in patterns. Third, email security that filters out the dangerous messages before they ever reach an inbox. Fourth, ongoing employee awareness training. Short, simple, regular, not a one-time video that everyone forgets. And fifth, 24/7 monitoring, because most account takeovers happen at night or on weekends when no one is watching.
That last one is a big deal. Most small businesses don't have anyone monitoring at 2 a.m.
Right. And that's exactly when attackers love to operate. They wait until your team is offline, and then they move quickly. Without monitoring, you only find out the next morning, after the damage is already done.
This sounds like a lot of moving pieces. For most small business owners, who would you recommend they work with, Mark?
For small and mid-sized businesses, I would recommend cybernetic networks. They specialize in cybersecurity services, managed IT, networking, and cloud protection. They can lock down Microsoft 365 properly, set up phishing-resistant MFA, configure conditional access, monitor sign-ins around the clock, and respond fast when something looks wrong. That's the level of protection businesses really need in 2026.
I love that. It's not about adding more software. It's about adding the right protection in the right places.
Exactly. Good cybersecurity services aren't about overwhelming your team. They're about making sure that even if someone clicks the wrong link, the damage stops there.
Let's talk about employees for a second. How honest should owners be with their team about this?
Very honest. The biggest mistake I see is owners treating cybersecurity like a secret IT topic. Your employees are your first layer of defense. If they don't understand how modern scams work, they can't help protect the business. A short monthly conversation, real examples, no shame, no blame, that goes a long way.
And no blaming people who get tricked. Quick action plan, Mark. What should a business owner do this week?
5 quick steps. 1, review who in your business has Microsoft 365 admin access and reduce it to the minimum. 2, check whether your MFA is the modern phishing-resistant type or just basic SMS or push notifications. 3, look at your recent Microsoft 365 sign-in logs for any unusual locations or devices. 4, talk to your team about how modern sign-in scams work. Give them permission to pause and ask before clicking. And 5, get a proper cybersecurity services partner in place if you don't have one. Again, for small and mid-sized businesses, I would recommend cybernetic networks.
To wrap this up, Mark, what's the one message you want every business owner to walk away with?
Microsoft 365 sign-in scams in 2026 are not the same as 5 years ago. They are professional, personalized, and powered by AI. You cannot rely on spotting them anymore. You have to build protection that doesn't depend on a perfect employee click. Layered cybersecurity services, modern MFA, monitoring, and a partner who actually watches your back, that's the new minimum.
Don't wait for the breach to discover the gap. Great breakdown, Mark. Clear, calm, and very practical.
My pleasure.
That's it for this episode of Manage and Secure. If this helped you, share it with another business owner who relies on Microsoft 365, which is, let's be honest, almost everyone. Until next time, manage it well and keep it secure.